Let me give you a guy that I really love in the draft
Okay.
that I can't imagine the Niners going for. But the more I watch him, the more I think, God, they got to get this player. He's just such a damn good player. I'm a huge fan of the Michigan running back, Blake Corum. And
Mm.
and I know he's a 5'8", 215-pound running back. He's from your neck of the woods. He's from Marshall, Virginia. How far is Marshall, Virginia from where you're at?
Not nowhere near where I'm from.
Marshall, Virginia is not a couple hundred miles away or something.
Yeah, it's got to be a couple of hundred miles away
Oh,
because it's
okay.
not anywhere that I've seen.
Okay. Well, he's from Marshall, Virginia. He went to St. Francis Academy. I saw him go for 243 yards a couple of years ago against Maryland, and I've
Hmm.
just been a huge fan ever since. But then I saw some of the workouts that he did and just the footwork. Then you read the bio on the kid, and he's a two-time All-American. He was voted captain by his teammates. He's a high character guy. Something tells me that Blake Corum is going to be really, really good. Now,
Hmm.
they don't need him. They got CMC, they got Elijah Mitchell, they got JP Mason. They don't
Can I
really
interject
need.
real quick, Larry?
Yeah, sure.
Do did you hear? Is this true or not? I don't want to speak out of school, but did you hear that Elijah Mitchell is on the trade block?
Yeah, I have heard that. That's actually where I was going. Where would you consider moving one of those backs in a trade? And would you consider Blake Corum? I mean, the Niners have not had luck with third and fourth round backs. I mean, they really haven't. They've had much more luck with, late in the draft kinds of backs. And there's a bunch. There's a bunch. I could give you 15 different names of running backs that I really, really like. But this kid is special. I'm not saying I see Emmett Smith, but I think he's really special, coach. The 49ers would not be disappointed if they drafted Blake Corum. He obviously wouldn't play over Juice, and you'd probably have to trade one of those two other backs. But man, if I could find a way to get Blake Corum in this draft, I think I would do it.
I'm sold. Um, I've seen him throughout the season, but I'm looking at him now. Running backs one of the easiest positions to scout, Larry. You know
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Um,
What you
it's a
see is what
very
you get.
what you see is what you get. And you can't fake talent with the ball in your hands. It is what it is. And what I see right now is, dare I say, a polished Elijah Mitchell. Low low center gravity, sure feet. He doesn't waste any space either. He gets downhill in a hurry. I'm looking at him running an outside zone versus Maryland right now. He's coming off with a ball switch. He's taking contact and he has good vision. He's patient, sits back behind his runners, knows that he's a small runner, so actually waits for defenders to come in after his legs so he can deliver the blow. He seems to be a conscientious runner for always falling forward. Even when he's behind the line of scrimmage, you can see his hands and how he's using backers to orchestrate, to move through, to get to the correct lane. Usually backs who are a little bit younger, or they trust in their athleticism, they bounce, they get out of there. But you can see that he's actually a conscientious runner and he sees the plan that's actually being put forth. On top of it, he's got a nice little stutter step move, like that hezzy that he uses ad nauseum. That's really in his bag. Most of his highlights are that, and he's piped. He's got strong hands. That boy's got big arms. I like him. I like him. And he gets downhill in a hurry. You ain't got to have no 4.3 or 4.4 to be a good running back. Give me 4.5 to 4.6, and I'll take it. I like him.
You might be able to get him in the third round. That's from what I'm reading here. He may go later. He may not be a very high pick. They have him at 70 overall in the draft. 70. So that means round 2. Or that means early
I
round
like the
3, I should
kid
say.
out of Louisville, Isaac Guerendo.
Guerendo,
Um,
yeah.
Guerendo, sorry, but
It's funny you said that because I just put a starred chat. It wasn't starred. It was just, we had this guy right here who said, great tone, a great one, 765. Go after Isaac Guerendo, running back from Louisville, and then have a
yeah,
Mostert type running back on the outside. I think Guerendo may be able to play fullback. He's like 225 pounds.
Man, Blake Corum is nice, man. Yeah, but Isaac Guerendo is on a whole nother level, though. He
Blake
ain't.
Corum is really nice. Here's the other
Yeah,
guy I really like. Joe Young says, if we draft a running back, we need Ray Davis from Kentucky.
Ray Davis
They
is
call
cold.
him all. They call him All Day Ray, and he's born in San Francisco. So
Look,
that's kind of interesting. I mean,
Isaac Guerendo, man. Isaac
Guerendo's
Guerendo
nice,
is. I'm gonna tell you right
fast.
now, that's a change of pace right there. And on top of it, he's not a small guy. He's over 200 pounds. The kid can block. I mean, he's also a weapon. I feel like getting Isaac Guerendo actually kind of makes our offense better in a lot of ways. I mean, can you imagine Isaac Guerendo and Christian McCaffrey on the field at the same time? Like, my God. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Well,
honestly,
that's the thing. I mean, if you can find some speed, I mean,
he
the
looks like
game's
a
about.
bigger Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find speed, speed's dangerous. Speed's dangerous. I mean, if you could add speed, whether it be tight end speed, wide receiver, like Tyler Harrell is one of my favorite players in this draft just because he is such a burner as wide receiver speed. But that kid Flournoy, there's a bunch of guys who can run in this year's draft at wide receiver. But Guerendo's interesting because he runs in the 4.3s at 230 pounds.
Yeah. I mean,
You
he's
could
a
have him be
massive.
the fullback.
Yeah. I mean, he could be everything. He'd be the fullback. He could be the H back. He could be the move tight end. I mean, honestly, with that type of size, Isaac Guerendo could be our second tight end in formations. Honestly,
Yeah.
with that type of speed and size at 230, he could be our second tight end. Um, I really believe that you get. I believe in getting bang for your buck players, especially when you are trying to build a team and fill holes. That's why I like Amarius Mims so much, and because I feel like it's not for the fact of what he's going to give us if we get him and bring him on the field, but it's the fact that we can kick him over to the left side as well. Um, One thing that I know what we have talked about, you and I brought this up earlier in the offseason. As a matter of fact, you brought this up during the season when you said that we need a speed element on offense. We need something that can actually be a little bit. Hold on, let me do my best Larry impression. Christian McCaffrey runs through you. Debo Samuel runs through you. Brendan Ayuk runs through you. George Kittle, he runs through you. Nobody necessarily runs by anyone. We need explosion on the offense. So I feel like picking up Guerendo would remedy that.
Let me give you, Coach, a guy that I think is a terrific sleeper. Terrific sleeper. And you know me, I'm always looking. I'm looking for sleepers.
You're in
I'm
the
out
weeds.
there. I'm beating the weeds, looking for sleepers.
Lazy Larry by day, sleeper Larry by night.
Here we go. I'm going to show you. I'm going to share the screen on this kid's picture and this kid's profile. Just because I love this kid. His name is Dante Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is. He's a 5'9" running back who was kicking ass in the Ivy League. Okay. He's a Georgia kid, I believe, originally, but he grew up in Rockingham, North Carolina. He's a grad student. He's a 5'9", 200-pound running back. He went to Richmond High School, started at the Ivy League. And how many guys do this, Coach? Start in the Ivy League and transfer to the SEC. It doesn't happen a lot. This guy started at Columbia, transferred to South Carolina. He was first team All Ivy League, according to Phil Steele, and then transferred. He's a grad transfer from Columbia University. This guy is burning fast. This guy is an amazing story. He's already earned his degree in sociology. He's a member of the National Honor Society and National Beta Club. So he's super smart kid. But he also runs in the 4.2s. 4.2s at 200. And if you watch him, you're like, oh my God. It looks like Tyreek Hill or somebody like that. I mean, this guy's so fast. What do you think? And you're talking about a day 3, maybe even late in day 3, kind of a sleeper. What do you think of a 4-2 running back like Darius Miller here?
Dante,
Or
you mean?
Dante Miller. Dante Miller.
Uh, no. He's more of a utility guy than an actual piece. Um, I need to be able to see what more I can get from him just than his speed. And you
Burner
know,
though.
burner, but is he Isaac Guerendo? No, right? And I'll take a tenth on Isaac Guerendo's 4.3 and his 230 and his size and strength over this kid where you're gonna have to basically he's gonna be a pillow princess every time he gets on the field. Everything's gonna have to be just right to get any type of production out of kids. Like I've seen kids like this a mile away, man. Like they got something that pops. They get on certain teams where people love who they are, so they have like a little bit of a campaign around them. And then you get them on the show, and it's like in the NFL, you kind of got to hunt where you eat. You got to hunt what you eat. It's like, in a sense, like it's like going from high school to college, where high school and college, they kind of prepare you for life, right? So you don't have to go to classes every day. Now you know how to operate the things that you've learned and apply it to life as you see fit. It's kind of like the NFL when you get guys where, yeah, you're talented, you're good, but this ain't college. We ain't going to be giving you reps, specialized packages. You're going to have to prove yourself to get reps and get on the field and fight to get past guys who have other vested interests on the team. And just having a guy because he runs a certain time, that ain't enough. He got to show me more. So I get it. The speed is awesome, but there's a reason why Danny Gray is on this team, right? And he was another guy with tremendous speed and, all of these superlatives, but at the end of the day, he couldn't put it together. So I don't want to take an incomplete project and then, we hear we see the inevitable, right?
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
in a certain sense, we did it with Trey, right? We went after the 20% and ignored the 80. So
I mean, there's not tons of collegiate production at South Carolina, so it makes me wonder a little bit. But you might this kid's probably not a draft eligible player. He's probably more like a an undrafted free agent. But if you're looking for an undrafted free agent, somebody you want to bring to camp who's gonna maybe show something, this guy would be interesting to me.
Definitely. Like as far as a target and show us what you got, kid. You know what I mean? You want to Rudiger it? Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Knock yourself out.
There you go.